Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So I have for you guys today from Fox News. They knew it wasn't secure. GOP rep rips FBI over Butler report. So let's go ahead and jump right into the video.
Now this, members of the House task force on the attempted assassination of President Trump say the FBI stonewalled their investigation into attempted assassin Thomas Crooks. New reporting reveals that Crooks' alleged violent digital presence was much greater than we had first been led to believe. Our next guest, though, says the FBI never shared those files with the congressional investigation. Joining me now is Congressman Mike Kelly, chairman of the House Task Force on the attempted assassination of President Trump. Congressman Kelly, thanks for being with us. What is your 30,000-foot reaction to the new information that's come to light via Miranda Devine at the New York Post?
Well, John, I can tell you, I think from the very beginning we realized we weren't going to get any help from any of the feds on anything. Local law enforcement, yes. Feds, no. But I want one thing that I think that really needs to be said. They knew, the federal agency, they knew for an hour and a half before President Trump came out onto that stage that the area was not secure. So they can talk about cell phones, they can talk about drones, they can talk about a bunch of different things that they never talked to us about, but I will tell you this, they knew the area was not secure. They should have held the president up at that time and say, sir, we're not sure it's secure. We don't think you should go out. That's not what they did.
That was such an epic photo. And the fact that he stood up, even though they were telling him to stay down, and he was telling, the American people to continue to fight, that will go down in history. That was the most amazing thing to see. And it was funny because that's where all these conspiracies started coming out about how, oh, he set this up, he really didn't get hurt. This was also one of the big moments that Dan Bongino was talking about, because he used to work, as Secret Service, and, his, policing background. He was saying, this was not secure, this was a crazy, F up, and the fact that you had people that were seeing this ahead of time and were like, hey, there's a guy going over there, and you see all these different videos, and some people were bringing it to the police attention and nobody was doing anything, so it was crazy how this even came about. And I don't know, I feel like people need to be held accountable for this, and people need to get fired because they didn't do their job. And they probably didn't do it on purpose. Some of them were probably paid off, my opinion, or conspiracy, because they didn't want him to run, they didn't want him to win, and everything that Democrats were throwing at him, Trump was beating. So it was just making them look bad. So if you put on your little conspiracy hat, you kind of feel like, yeah, this was something the deep state was trying to pull off. And, by the grace of God, Trump moved just a little bit, and that's what saved him, which was awesome. But let's keep going.
Put him out there. And then afterwards, act surprised, we never knew this was going on. I said, you did know, and you knew an hour and a half ahead of time that the area was not secure. All the rest of it is just talk. Everything is talk. They didn't want to talk to us about anything because they were still conducting their investigation. I think the one thing this proves, John, I'm so tired of hearing about this, but it comes from a movie, A Few Good Men. Mm-hmm. You can't handle the truth. I can tell you what the American people can do. They can handle the truth.
I love that movie, Jack Nicholson, where he's like, you can't handle the truth.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
But yeah, I like that clip. That movie is awesome. So your girl, she likes movies. I love, I talk in movie quotes and TV quotes, and it's kind of sad sometimes because some people don't know what I'm saying, or they don't know where it's from, but it's fine. It's fine. But let's keep going.
They can handle is being stonewalled and being lied to.
Yeah, I can't remember the number of presidential events or campaign events on the presidential trail that I've been to, and I've never seen a rooftop like that left uncovered. Miranda Devine was with us the other day, and she talked about what we were told about Thomas Crooks versus what we know now. Listen to what she said.
We were sort of led to believe that Thomas Crooks was really a ghost, that there was no motive that could be ascertained from his online accounts. And yet a source has provided us with a lot of information from 17 different online accounts that Thomas Crooks had. He was pro-Trump. And then in January of 2020, he flipped 180 degrees.
It would seem that that information would have been pretty easy to dial up by the FBI or other investigators. Why are we hearing about it just now?
Because the choice was made not to disclose it at the time. And we keep in mind, now the executive branch and every one of the federal agencies that we're talking about was under a different leader. The president at that time was Joe Biden. They controlled every one of those outfits. So now we're learning things because now it's been brought out into the open. And people say, well, why didn't we know it before? And quite simply because they stonewalled and they did.
I mean, look at that. You saw him, like, literally get down. Other people, there was videos of them saying, like, look, there's a dude running on the roof. It's like, how did the snipers miss that? You know? But, you know what we're talking about here. So I said my little conspiracy hat. You know, deep state, insider job. I mean, the list could go on and on.
Let us know about it.
Right. So, I mean, when you take a look at what Miranda has uncovered vis-a-vis messages that were posted online by Thomas Crooks, as we see video of him there practicing his shooting, dry firing a weapon in his bedroom. I mean, it's pretty clear that he was once pro-Trump and suddenly somehow changed. This is what he wrote in July of 2019. Trump is the literal definition of patriotism. He also wrote later that year, murder the Democrats, which is the sort of thing that should have flagged somebody. And then in 2020, just 8 months after he wrote what he did about President Trump, he was writing, how can you people, talk about Trump supporters, call others sheep, but you are too brainwashed to realize how dumb you are. I mean, literally, you guys sound like a cult at times. And then he writes, later that same year, in my opinion, the only way to fight the government is with terrorism-style attacks. Sneak a bomb into an essential building and set it off before anyone sees you. Track down any important people, politicians/military leaders, etc., and try to assassinate them. I mean, that's the sort of stuff that runs chills down your spine. And yet in this alleged investigation, none of that ever showed up. Were they just trying to play CYA, or did they look at this and say, oh, we don't want that to get out for other reasons?
Well, you'd probably have to ask them directly about that, but don't expect to get an answer. I will tell you this, we're still trying to figure out when President Kennedy was assassinated, a lone shooter in the top of a building with a gun with open sights was able to make that shot. We're never ever going to get the answers, and because we don't get the answers, people don't trust what the government says to them. I will just say now, under new leadership, and when I talk to people in Secret Service, they are so spot on. If it wasn't for Secret Service that day, they were the ones who were on the stage with the president. They were the ones that covered him and got him out of trouble. I have so much respect for them. Here's the thing, though. You can't keep stonewalling people and then wonder why they don't believe you. It's never, John, it just doesn't make sense, and you don't have to do that.
Yeah, I think when you allude to Secret Service, you mean the president's detail, because they definitely leapt into action. But other elements of the Secret Service apparently left things unguarded.
Not to make fun or like downplay the situation, but when I saw that, one of the things that came to my mind was the parody of what's his name, Stifler, where they're like Sean Pyle. Okay, I'm done.
Ask you quickly about this, Congressman, if I could, because this came out today. 6 Democrats who served in the military or the intelligence services in the United States are urging military members not to follow what they say are illegal orders. Listen here.
Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders.
You can refuse illegal orders.
You must refuse illegal orders.
No one has to carry out orders that violate the law or our Constitution.
It would appear that they're alluding to deployment of the National Guard in various cities across America, the takeout of these drug boats coming out of Venezuela and Colombia. What do you think about that?
Well, I've always felt this. The whole purpose of our military is to protect American citizens. I get confused from time to time whether it's Trump derangement syndrome or people that actually just want to pivot to something else. Look, I haven't seen that. I'm just listening to it now. I know some of those people. I find that kind of strange because I have deep respect for those who served. But if you serve, most people who serve don't make an issue of things and bring it out in public like that to criticize the President of the United States or whatever it is that they have a problem with. I get that people don't agree with everything, but what I don't understand is this is America. These folks serve the American people, and the American people just went through the last weekend of honoring our veterans. Why would you bring out something like that? What purpose does that play until?
I think it's because the Democrats, they want like a civil war. They want us to have this incel infighting, and they want us to keep an eye on like this hand and not this hand. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of sus, the way they're, deploying this. And I understand that there are like some unlawful orders that you would have, follow. Like, let's say and Trump's never said this, so we're just saying hypotheticals here. But if any president was like, go and murk all these children, these American children, then that would be an order that you wouldn't want to, follow. But then again, you got to ask these guys, right? These same people that are calling for these military people not to follow orders, right? Let's ask those same people how they felt about Obama, dropping a bomb on an American kid, because he did that, so like let's hear their explanation of that. Shouldn't the military have not followed that order at that point? But I'm pretty sure they're just gonna because that's what they do, because they don't like to take accountability.
You don't have to follow orders. Really? I've never heard that before. And I would tell you, these people all followed orders at one time or another. Why they're doing that now, who would know? Congressman, thank you for spending time with us. Really appreciate it. Thanks, John. Have a great Thanksgiving. All right, you too. Thank you, sir. Molly?
Hey, everyone.
So that's what I have for you guys. That's just some crazy-ish, But you guys let me know your thoughts in the comment below about, this, huge mess up by, I guess, the FBI or whoever was supposed to be covering Trump that day. In regards to that, I know a lot of people have their thoughts and theories. So let me know in the comments below. Also, let me know your thoughts on why you think the Democrats are asking the military to defy the commander-in-chief's orders. But I want to thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Till next time, guys.